Hello, thank you for watching the replay. Ingrid Owens here, business coach and marketing strategist for creatives and coaches. I am here this morning for Biz Talk Tuesday, except it's I'm a little discombobulated, so I may have to run off really quick. I am later than I normally get on here. My little girl this morning is not feeling good, and I'm likely to get interrupted at any moment. But I do come on here on Facebook live every Tuesday morning, and I'm also doing some videos on Instagram. And oh my goodness, I forgot to put this one up. I was going to do both, but anyway, we'll see how I can repurpose that. So I'm in full on mommy mode this morning, so forgive the crazy hair and the goodness, everything is just everywhere. We had a delayed start today at school, which threw us off. Then my little girl was sick, which threw me off even more. And she's pretty pearly, and so yes, it's not very fun. So I may have to run at any moment. But if you're on here live, watching me live, go ahead and write in the comments. Let me know where you are at. And just to say a quick hello, if you're watching the replay, use hashtag replay and just let me know as well, so I can say thank you for watching, and we can if we have any questions, we can get those answered. But what I wanted to talk to you today about is something that I'm going through again in my own business. And it's funny how quite often what we are going through reflects what our clients are going through and what our people want to hear. And where I'm at right now is I've pivoted a little bit. I've changed my people a little bit, not a whole lot. I've always worked with photographers and creatives, but I'm enlarging that a little bit to encompass some more people who are more service-based businesses online, because I feel like that is something that I can really help people with. That's something I've had experience with myself, and I see that there's a little bit of a gap there that I can help people with. Now, this has kind of come from a couple of different places, so I wanted to talk about that today. But really, the crux of this whole conversation is market research. And what I find is that a lot of creatives tend not to do market research. And I know because it can sometimes be a little analytical, it can feel a little cold, a little dry. And when you're a creative person and you're offering your creative services or your goods into the world, it's kind of like it's just an extension of yourself, right? But what I have found actually is the people who are really serious about their business, who really are serious about their skills and their art and their craft, they want to offer that as a business, and they're ready to take that leap that somebody who's just dabbling as a hobby is not ready to take. So that's kind of what's forced my shift, because I'm like, I don't want to serve hobbyists anymore. I really don't. I mean, there's a place for that. There is absolutely a need for that, in terms of coaching and photography help and all of that, which I have done already. But I can't, that's not who I can serve at my very best. My background is in business studies, marketing. I have a degree in marketing. And so I really want people who are ready to take the next step in their business and not just in their photography as a hobby. So that's kind of a little sideways rant. But how I came to know that was through action and through helping people and talking to people who were in my target market. Because for the longest time, I taught photography as my kids were small. And of course, they still need me, as evidenced by today. But back then, I really just wanted something that I could do very much when my husband was home. And so I would teach photography in the evenings and at the weekends. And so that was easy. And it was very, it wasn't a long commitment for me with somebody. I was working with them maybe once or two or four sessions, maybe sometimes longer than that, quite often longer than that. But it wasn't as brow heavy, as brain involved as working on somebody's business. Okay. So I then am now a photography. I still teach a little bit of photography, but actually I'm going to be phasing that out in the new year. And so I'm full on back with helping people with marketing their businesses, which is what I've done, like I said. And I did that for my own business. So I have a lot of experience in the online space. In fact, my daughter was 10 yesterday, and I started my business before she was born. So I'm over 10 years in the online space, which really makes me a granny. So what I wanted to talk about was this whole idea of market research. And the whole thing is that I would not have come to this decision of my target market and who I want to serve without talking and serving people, right? Talking to people, asking them how I could help, and actually doing the thing, right? And so if you've already taken those first steps in your business, I want to first commend you and say bravo, that clarity comes from action, from doing the thing. So many times we're all up in our head, we're thinking about what people want, what's going to sell, what's going to work. You don't know it when it's in your head, right? You can only know that when you're actually in the world, when you put your stuff out there and you get the feedback. The trick with it all is to make sure that the feedback doesn't mean anything more than this is not the right thing for my person at the right time, or this is not the person for my thing, right? There's a mismatch there somewhere. This is called a message to market mismatch, or a product to market mismatch, right? So it's your job as the service provider, as the artist, as the entrepreneur, to figure out what your person wants. And the first way to do that is to fly it by somebody, to ask them, right, to put it on the market. But even before that, when you're doing the research, instead of doing research with a pretend person who you think would be your ideal customer, get out there and talk to people. I encourage my clients to have their own little focus group of people who would like to buy your stuff. And it's not just enough to get those people who are your friends and family who'll buy anything, like there's always going to be those people there to support you, which is awesome. But you want those friends that are a bit more real talkers, and you want to ask them specifically, is this something that you would buy? Now, that is if your friends and family are your target market. If they're not, if you're selling business to business services, then you've really got to put yourself out there in that community, in the network of where your people are. And that could be in person with some of these networking groups in person, or it could be online. Like, we live in such a phenomenal time that you can reach out to people and ask them on Facebook for a coffee conversation. If you've never done that before, that's an okay thing to do, right? You connect with somebody and then take that conversation a little deeper in a Zoom call or something like what we're doing right now, like Skype. Not like what we're doing, two-way, not just me talking at you, right? Or you can go on Instagram and connect with your people there, or wherever your place is. LinkedIn is very good now too for business to business, right? So it's all about bringing that conversation deeper and making that relationship deeper, and getting the courage to go ahead and ask people what they think of your services, or what problem that they are having, right? Because if they do have a problem, like, you're never going to know unless you ask them. And that can also be really insightful for you to know the language that they're using. It could be really insightful for you to know what they think that you do already. Maybe they think that you do something that you don't do, or that you don't do the thing that you do, right? So you really have to kind of ask people. Because people buy from people at the end of the day, and you've got to have these conversations. And this is something that my coach has really been pushing me to do more often over this last couple of months. And when I started to do that, I've really noticed a change in my business. I will say, for the longest time, it's a lot of stories that have kept me stuck from not doing that, because, that mindset piece is something that we can, make up stories in our head why somebody doesn't want to talk to us, or why this would be a good time, or, are they going to think I'm weird? And you really have to get over that. You really have to remember that, your business is there to help people. You're there to solve a problem. You're there to, do your best work and put your, your greatest good out there into the world. And if you're not talking to people and asking people what they want, then you're doing yourself and everybody else a huge disservice. So don't let the brain chatter, that negative self-talk, get in your way and stand in the way of that. So that was a bit of a rant today. I didn't really have anything planned out at all to say, but I know that I am deep in this market research piece of my business again, and that's something else to note. Like I said, I've been in business for 10 years online. It has changed dramatically. I've done courses, I've done online courses, I've done in-person courses, I've done one-to-one classes, I've done e-commerce, I've done affiliate marketing, I've done blogging, I've done making money online every which way you can think of, right? Everything has required more conversation, more information, more market research. And even as I have been a coach and a strategist in the last year, it's required me to actually get deeper and deeper down into the problems that my person has. And that all comes with the research and the conversation. So don't be afraid to revisit market research all the time. In fact, I'm actually doing market research calls with people right now. And I just did it 6 months ago, but this is it because I keep getting clearer and clearer on how I can help, and that becomes more and more powerful. So if you haven't had a market research conversation with me, I'd love to invite you on that call. I'll put the link here below the video so that you can sign up. It's just a 15-minute conversation. And actually, people that do these calls with me have found that they have gotten clarity around stuff in their own business as well. So it's kind of interesting, right? So if you're already an existing business owner, a coach, or anybody that offers services online, I would really love to speak with you and to see how I can help you best in your business. But also if you can help me with that little bit of information. All right, I'm going to go back and get that wet flannel and hold it over my daughter's head. She is so pearly and been throwing up all morning. If this was of value to you, I would love if you would let me know in the comments, and stay tuned because next Tuesday we'll be back for some more biz talk. Take care. Bye bye.